All right, y'all. So my boy hit me up with some more good stuff. His grandfather had told him. Very interesting. It coincides with stuff I've talked about here in the past. His grandfather would tell him that an evil alien race of Dracos, or Draconians, want Earth very badly. Not only for its resources like gold, but it is one of the most resource-filled planets in the universe. And the Draconians, or the Anunnaki, think that they have a divine right to it. So they've attempted to take Earth 3 times. So he keeps referring to Mother Nature, creator of all. So it makes me wonder about this Mother Nature, creator of all, and what exactly she is. If she's the source energy, maybe God manifesting himself as another being. Who knows? But that's what they believe in. It's very interesting. So in the last battle, as I said in my previous video, he said that Mother Nature, creator of all, recruited a number of different alien beings, many of which had already lost their home planet to the Dracos. So these beings, which are all love and light, came to our aid to defend Mother Earth from the Dracos. He claimed that in each war they got more and more powerful when they came back to fight again. In this third one, they were the most powerful. He said these wars were so great that they would shake the land, that they would cause catastrophe throughout the earth, cataclysms, earthquakes, volcanoes erupting. And he said that his ancestors of Aztec Mayan descent also joined this third battle, the last one they had, and that his ancestors were of love and light, so they were able to get guidance from the other good love and light factions. This would allow them to take a larger part than you and I could in defending Mother Earth. They were super fast. They had amazing abilities. They would literally use their mind to pick up massive boulders and throw them at the Dracos. Basically, what the beings of Earth did was come together because they knew they had to in order to defend her, because the Dracos have been the closest to gaining power over her. And the reason being is because the Dracos, and what they continue to do today, is infiltrate mankind, gain access to us. And today they're gaining even more power. They created things like money, greed, hate in our way of living today. They've created humans of more evil intent, the elite. And as they've infiltrated our society, they've changed our structure of living. He says that we should be living according to Mother Nature, and she can provide all. And it's free. There's no need for currencies, hierarchy, materials, etc. This self-indulged, self-way of thinking was implanted by the Dracos, mainly because they don't want us to unite. They don't want us to want to care about each other. They want to keep us divided, because as one, we're much more powerful. So after winning the third war, it is said that the ancient humans let the alien beings who had lost their homes live in underground Earth, allowing them to reestablish their civilization. And in return, they helped us rebuild Mother Nature and rebuild the Earth, because she had taken such a large hit from this great war. And that if we're going to survive another great war, which is coming, that we need to unite as a people. We need to take in love and light and start changing our current ways, that we could be led into a world that is much, much different than the one we live in today. A world of peace and harmony. With all the volcanoes erupting and everything going on, I believe that it's possible that another war could be coming, that another war could be on its way. I was told that the Dracos gave certain countries with certain politicians that they have infiltrated the technology to cause volcanoes to erupt. Now, whether this is true or not, it's hard to say, but it is odd that all of this is happening right now, and it's happening all around the world. Earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. And if you watch my reels, It's, subject to scrutiny whether there's sirens or not. I don't think they sound like orcas or dolphins. Dolphins sound much different. But they are hurting up and they're moving because of magnetic changes within the earth. They're moving because of disruption. So for those of you that aren't preparing or at least contemplating what could be on its way, I urge you to at least semi-prepare. I'm keeping my ears open for y'all on anything. Anybody have anything, let me know. And I will gladly talk about it, post about it, give you my 2 cents. But keep grinding. Keep watching my videos, follows, like, subscribe. Most of all, stay in the light, fam. Oh, and I almost forgot one more thing. After seeing what I just said about the Dracos and whatnot infiltrating society, one question some of you may have, which I had as well. Oh, and I almost forgot one more thing. After seeing what I just said about the Dracos and whatnot infiltrating society, one question some of you may have, which I had as well, and sometimes I still have today, is if there's such an evil alien faction infiltrating mankind, then why isn't there a good one trying to infiltrate mankind? And see, why they don't is because these beings actually play by the rules that they are not supposed to interfere with us, okay? They don't partake in evil in any way, shape, or form. And if they did, they would lose abilities because it would change their integrity of love and light. And many of these beings are actually our ancestors. Whether people want to believe it or not, some of them actually make up what is part of our DNA. And unfortunately, so do the Dracos. The Dracos, that was one of the biggest problems with what happened when we first were put here or put on what planet we were. We were of pure DNA, but the Dracos and the Greys, the evil Greys, infiltrated and manipulated our DNA, forever changing us. That's where mankind actually gained a lot of our traits. So like, for example, I've heard from Vietnam vets that people with vividly bright eyes, and no, I'm not just saying that because of my color. This is actually from somebody I heard, my father. He went to a bar, sat down next to a gentleman that he had seen drinking there before. He's a Vietnam vet. Well, this particular night, he looked over at my dad and he said, "Man, Kent, I'd love to have a guy like you by my side in Vietnam." And he said, "Well, why is that, man?" The guy says, "I always recruited guys with bright eyes." And he said, because for some reason, they were always the kindest people, but when they had to, they could turn it on and they could just annihilate people. It was like they hit a zone, like they hit a focus, right? Well, I truly believe, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately, that that's actually a Draco trait, okay? And much of my family has had webbed toes as well. That's a Draco trait. So that is Draco DNA coming out. And it's not necessarily a good thing, but I was reading the other day, and there's, just like everything, there's actually good Dracos. And they are very valuable in war because they are good at it. They're a warring faction. And I've even experienced this said focus myself at times, right? When I played ball. I played running back. And there were times when I would literally almost black out, right? It was like I'd black out. I wouldn't remember the process. And I'm sure everybody does this at times. I'm not saying that it's a special trait or anything, but when I would break off a touchdown run or whatever, or because I played defense, when I'd hit somebody and just fucking, put that hit on them, right? It's like I would fucking black out and do things unconsciously. Like I would make cuts and reads and make plays unconsciously. Like I would just like it was nature, like it was natural. You know what I'm saying? A level of focus that is just, it was like natural though, right? It was really odd. And then when I go to watch it on film, I'd be like, damn, did I really just do that, bro? Kind of probably similar to what this vet is talking about, because I guess this is the closest thing I've ever been into war was football, right? So yeah, when they infiltrated our DNA, it actually screwed up our entire experiment, right? The Project T, or Tyrannisium, okay? That's what our experiment is called. That was when they first put us on actually another planet, but we ended up here. So even though they did infiltrate our DNA, they allowed us to continue on, and continue our race to see what we would do, whether we were worthy or not of letting us into their world. But back to my main point, this is why I continued this story, or this post. Basically, if we need help, right? Dolores Cannon said this. We were all assigned guardian angels. Everybody is assigned a certain angel, or spirit, or energy, if you will, at birth. And this said angel follows us everywhere we go. But they are told they cannot interfere. That is their main clause. That's their main law, I guess. To that note, though, if you ask, it's not considered interfering. Meaning that if we need help, or an individual needs help, if mankind needs help, all we have to do is ask, and they will come to our aid. And I'm not just talking spirit beings. I'm talking ETs as well. If we need their help, if it's doom and gloom and they see that we are falling to whatever evil entities out there, Dracos, demons, whatever alike, if we just ask for their help, they will come and they will fight with us. They will fight for us. It's that simple. Really, it's that simple. I mean, we just have to ask. The problem is not very many people believe as it is, so it's hard to get the masses to want to ask. But those of us that do, we just need to remember that. Don't be afraid to ask. It may be us that actually brings them here, that actually brings the aid we really truly need, because we are simply not capable, or we cannot at this point defeat the Dracos. Humans are not powerful enough. We would be if we knew what we had, right? We would be if we were on one consciousness. But until then, we just need to look up to the sky and ask, right? Ask for their help. They're watching everything that's going on right now. What they're doing is waiting to see how people will react. How, if this trial and tribulation will draw our abilities and our true selves into the light in order to fight back. And we'll see if that happens or not, right? At the end of the day, time will tell. But if not, it'd be nice to have a little guidance, right? It'd be nice to say, have these ETs come down here and say, hey, this is how you do it, right? Because until then, it's really hard for people to want to think that we can get into self like that and be something so powerful. Literally, moving things with our minds, freaking controlling the elements, the water, earth, wind, fire, avatars, man, avatars. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a little truth to everything. I truly believe it's possible. The movie Phenomenon, right? For example, with John Travolta. The shit is real, fam. It's real. And I truly believe that mankind has a much larger calling. And we're gonna have to do what it takes to fight these beings from taking our planet from us. I see it every day. You can see it on the TV. Just watch the politicians, watch the elite. In the end, they're doing all this preparing and they're doing all this infiltrating because they are scared. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, they're scared because they know, based on the last 3 wars that they lost, that at the end of the day, Love and light prevails.